So I'm going to show you some footage of Marin in the Bay Area, Northern California, since that's where Western mountaineering sleeping bags are from. You can see some of the wilderness area that inspired the sleeping bags, but I don't know Western mountaineering sleeping bags, the company or anybody who works there personally. I've lived in San Francisco my whole life, and I recently learned about Western Mountaineering. I didn't realize that they're from San Jose. San Jose is actually closer to Santa Cruz, and this footage that you're looking at is actually from San Francisco. Western Mountaineering are in San Jose. San Francisco is about an hour north of San Jose. So San Francisco has an area called Marin with a beach called Stinson, and that's more or less what you're looking at. You're looking at the wilderness, the cliffs, and the coastline that are in between Stinson and the Golden Gate Bridge north of San Francisco. And basically, recently I bought the Megalite from Western Mountaineering. Western Mountaineering makes two standard wide sleeping bags, the Alpenlite and the Megalite. They're both intended to be washed, and they're both intended to be large, so they're spacious inside. I got the long version, which is only 6.5 feet. Normally, a long version of a sleeping bag is 7 feet. I think it is possible to purchase a Western Mountaineering bag in 7 feet, and I would recommend it. That's really one of the advantages of other long wide versions of sleeping bags, is that it comes in a truly long wide version. The 7 foot sleeping bag is really the long wide. 6.5 feet is kind of like almost the long wide, and personally I feel comfortable in a 7 foot bag. I'm 6 foot, I'm 5'11", maybe 6 foot. And even though the footbox can suffer a little in a 7 foot bag, the amount of just room and maneuverability that I'm able to accomplish in my hood and around my shoulders in a 7 foot bag, for me, that's really comfortable. After washing my Megalite, it did shrink. So I found that on my washing machine, it wasn't doing a great job unless I set the washing machine to power wash. So I washed my Megalite once, and I found that it shrank, and I wasn't really convinced that I had done a good job washing it. So I decided to just do a power wash, do like a 1 hour, 45-minute wash cycle with my Megalite. And I got a complaint or two on YouTube from people who said that they wanted to actually see me stepping on the Megalite. So basically, when I wash these sleeping bags, I compress them in the compression sack so that you get as much of the air as possible out. Okay, because basically this down that's inside of the Western Mountaineering bags is very robust down. That's kind of like, it's not styrofoam, it's a natural filling. It's a natural filling from old goose. An old geese or old goose, it has mature feathers, it has mature down that is extremely resistant to compression. So the Western Mountaineering bags, they compress really, really small, and they weigh about 1 pound. They fit into like a purse. They're invisible. They're like the size, they're a little bit bigger than a cantaloupe, and they're very light. They don't weigh anything. It's great. So you would want to compress it all the way down to get all of the air out. Submerge it in the bathtub, fill up the bathtub with water, and put it underneath the water, and then uncompress it underwater so that instead of sucking air into the down, you're sucking water into the down. And then basically step on it with your feet and press the air that's inside of the sleeping bag out. If the sleeping bag still floats, that means it's still got air in it, obviously. But I danced on it, I put my feet on it and stood on it and kind of danced around on it, pressing the air out of the sleeping bag until no more air bubbles were coming out. And by doing that, I got the down as wet as possible before putting it into the washing machine. So basically, the concept of washing the down is that the down has to be completely wet before you put it in the washing machine so that the detergent in the washing machine can get to the down. If the down is dry, if it's got air if there's air inside of the sleeping bag, inside of the down, and the sleeping bag is floating on top of the water in the washing machine, it's not going to get effectively washed. You want the down to be completely wet and not be buoyant, to not have any air in it, so that it sinks down into the water and gets washed. Um, it looks like it did. I washed my sleeping bag thoroughly, put it in the dryer, and just dry. I didn't dry it on high. I dried it on medium for an extended period of time, like 2 or 3 hours. Some people might be hesitant to do that, but I personally, if I'm gonna wash down, I'll put it in the dryer for like 2 hours for sure. Um, and yeah, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty confident this time that I got it thoroughly washed. As far as like the cut and the size, yeah, I think that it shrank a little. When you first get your Megalite or your Alphalite, they're very roomy and comfortable, and they've got a lot of DWR, and they're kind of interesting. When you wash it, it's still interesting because the down is a robust natural insulator, but the nylon that they use, it doesn't have as many bells and whistles as the more modern companies. They use a great kind of sleeping bag nylon. They use a kind of nylon that's great for sleeping bags. It doesn't really pick up dirt and oil very easy. When you sleep in it sweaty in the morning, the nylon still feels relatively clean. It isn't so ultra lightweight that you can obviously feel sweat and salt and grime on the nylon after sleeping in it once. But the issue is that it shrinks. So when you first get it, it's really spacious and roomy. After having it after washing it, it's obviously more narrow. You know, I think 7 feet would be a quick fix. That would be a great way to go. Is just get the 7 foot version from Western Mountaineering. I'm not even sure if they sell it, but I think that it is possible to get if you get in touch with them. I think that Campmore.com, I think that they have a special relationship with Western Mountaineering where they can order special sleeping bags from them for you. I'm not really sure, but anyway, I'm going to show you some footage of me stepping on the Western Mountaineering bag so you can see the air bubbles coming out of the down while it's underwater. And otherwise, I'm just going to show you some footage of a sunset in Marin so that you can see what it looks like. All right, thanks.